I just noticed your Sky High t-shirt and I'm freaking out right now.
They got this to be in photo ops, and I think they were just meant to give it to me, but I was like, oh no, I'm gonna put it on right now.
Amazing. Do you keep in touch with any of those guys?
I do, yeah. I keep in touch with Michael Morano, Nick Braun, the producer of that, and Gunn.
That's so cool. Do you have some Sky High for that? Oh, nice.
We were both filming in Vancouver maybe a year ago or something.
That's awesome. I think we probably have some Sky High fans in the crowd. Yeah. So, what's your favorite part of doing these fan conventions?
Getting to talk to fans and hear what they really think, you know. Generally very positive, some other negative feedback sometimes, but, you know, it's nice to hear what people think. We sort of live in a bubble. Like, I get up and I go to work on the stage in Vancouver, I see the same 100 people every day and I go to sleep. So it's nice to get a chance, you know, to interact and hear what people think.
That's awesome. So October 3rd, or October 4th, season 3 of The Flash premieres. With Flashpoint, everything is going to be different. What can we expect?
Oh man, I'm really excited for you guys to see the season premiere so I can start talking about it a little bit more. I get so nervous that I'm going to give a spoiler away.
A claw comes down from the ceiling and takes you away.
I think I'm really excited to hear what fans think. I'm really excited for season 3. I think it's a lot lighter than the last season was. It was pretty scary, so this season hopefully is going to have a little bit more of the fun in the show that we had on our first season.
Cool, that's exciting. I'm curious, if this was an alternate universe and you weren't acting, what would you be doing?
Oh, I don't know.
Starting with the tough questions.
I know. I work a lot with a nonprofit called Art of Elysium, which works with young kids in hospitals, so I think maybe something with them. I love kids, so.
Cool. That's amazing. One of my favorite things about Caitlin, kind of speaking about that, is that she's a really strong scientist on television. You don't get a lot of that representation. How does it feel for you to be able to play such a cool lady who represents women in science on television?
I love it. It's the best. I was like teased so much in middle school because I was, you know, I was pretty good at math and I was teased. Like boys couldn't understand it, and I love that now they're, you know, both with Flash and Arrow, you know, there's these female scientists and women who are, their intelligence is celebrated.
Yeah, that's really cool. This last season, Jay had a pretty tragic storyline.
Yeah.
And I've heard you say that you're kind of excited for Caitlin to be on her own for a while, kind of be your own hero a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great line that Candace Patton's character had in season 1, you know, girl's gotta be her own hero. And I think it's true, you know, I'm excited for Caitlin to sort of focus on herself, not get distracted by all those handsome men.
See, we're not being easy.
Yeah,
exactly. Any chance we're going to be able to explore Caitlin's relationship with her mother at all?
Yes, I'm so excited. I got to work with Susan a little bit over the last couple of weeks, and she is fantastic.
Cool.
I'm really excited for kids to see that relationship.
I'm excited for that too. Are you guys excited for that? Of course, we have to talk about playing Killer Frost. So cool, right? Yeah, amazing. I'm curious about how you approached playing the two different characters.
Right before we started shooting those Earth 2 episodes, I went back and watched a lot of the classic Batman movies with Poison Ivy or who did Michelle Pfeiffer play?
Catwoman, yeah.
Yeah. So I went and looked at those women and those actresses for inspiration because they're, you know, in the first little bit of the movie, they tend to be more demure characters, and then you make the switch. So that's sort of where I went for my inspiration.
Was it fun to be a villain?
Totally. Oh my gosh, it was great. It was so fun. But you know, to get out there and sort of duke it out with the boys, I loved it. I want to do more of that.
Do you think we'll get to see her again?
Get Killer Frost? No, she's dead.
No chance. No chance. Oh no. Would you guys like to see her back? We'll cross our fingers. I'm curious too, did you have any input into the costume or any of that?
Yes.
It looks so cool.
Thank you very much. Kate Bain, our costume designer, did a great job. We started working on it at least 6 months before we actually shot it. And the original concept was like sort of like a one piece, which is similar to one that you see in the comic books. But it just didn't feel right. So Kate emailed me and she was like, I've totally scrapped it, like we're gonna go in a different direction, something a little bit sexier. And that's when we built, the leather pants and the corset. If it hadn't been so cold in Vancouver, you probably would have seen more of the corset. Yeah, so we did. Lots of fittings, it was cool.
I feel like it's hard to feel sexy in a one piece.
It's true. I was just like, oh man, every time I go to the bathroom, this is going to be a real pain.
Disaster. We're going to take some audience questions. We don't have a mic runner or anything, so if you have a question, just throw up your hand and I'll point right at you. Yeah, right here in the front row.
You and your sister were at a family camera show.
Read it and weep. Yeah, with my little sister.
I remember when you did some of those shows here at Toronto.
Oh.
Yeah, some of the family channel stuff.
I'm not familiar with the Family Channel because I'm from the Yeah, it's Disney Channel in the States.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
How was it working with your sister?
The best. So fun. I mean, there's a...
And also Fame. When you did the Fame movie.
That was my sister, actually. No, that's okay. She was incredible in it. Yeah, it's great because there's such a shorthand when you're working with a sibling. Like everything moved pretty quickly, which is nice.
Is it true that she's a zoologist now?
She doesn't act right now. She's sort of pursuing a different career path.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Amazing. And
She
you went to school as well, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh no, that's okay. Yes, yeah, we both went to UCLA actually.
That's amazing.
I got my bachelor's degree in English.
Interesting.
Almost 10 years ago, which is crazy. I graduated from college almost 10 years ago.
Do you have a favorite book?
I have a favorite book. I don't know. If I had the time to specialize, I would have probably specialized in more contemporary American fiction. That's sort of my thing.
Yeah.
Fitzgerald, that kind of thing.
That's super interesting. Yeah, that's awesome. All right, let's go again. Yeah, in the red t-shirt. Hi.
Hi. When you were on Shark, what was it like to work with James Woods?
Awesome. He's so intelligent, he's so smart, and he's such a talented actor. Like, I was very lucky, when you do a show like that that's a procedural, and Flash has elements of that as well, that there can be, scenes with a lot of exposition, and you're just, spewing out the facts. And on Shark, I was his daughter, so all of our stuff was generally pretty emotional, which was really fun as an actor. I adore him. I think the world of him. We had a great time.
Do we have a lot of Shark fans in the crowd? Yeah, I was a big fan of that show too.
I was surprised I only went 2 years.
You're on another one of my favorite shows, Eli Stone, which also only went 2 years. Yeah. Can you talk a little bit about what your work was like on that?
Great. That was such a brief, I was only there for one episode, but that shares a lot of the same executive producers as Flash. It was Greg Berlanti, Andrew Kreisberg was on that, so it was really fun. I loved working with Johnny. Also so sweet and like a very generous actor, so it was great.
Oh, that's so nice to hear. Okay, let's go over here. Yeah, hi. Yeah.
What was the funniest joke or incident that happened on set?
On the set of The Flash,
Yeah.
the funniest Joker? I don't know. Grant does this thing where he pretends to walk into walls. 2.5 seasons later, I almost don't fall for it. I'm like, are you hurt, or is this just a joke? Tom Cavanaugh is a pretty big prankster as well. Between the two of them, I think.
Yeah, that's a busy set.
Yes.
Yeah, over here in the hat. Hi. Yeah.
Congrats on the engagement, by the way.
Thank you.
You guys have filmed very quickly. I have a question for you. How was working with David Hasselhoff with Ron?
Working with David Hasselhoff was really fun. He gave me a bedazzled shirt that said "Don't hassle the Hawk," which I still have.
Incredible. Oh my god.
Yeah, it was really fun.
Way in the back there. Yeah, hi.
How do you like working with Kevin Smith?
Oh, working with Kevin was fantastic. I'm so excited. He's coming back. He's directing our 7th episode, and I think it's my favorite yet. I didn't get to work with him much when he was on the show last year, but I'm really excited for this episode.
Yeah, in front here. Hi. Yep.
My question is, last season you saw Flash in the past timeline.
Mm-hmm.
What would you
my past? I don't know. I've been pretty fortunate. I think if I could go back and tell myself anything, it would just be like, it's gonna be okay. It's all gonna work out. You don't have to stress so much. It's gonna be all right. Thank you.
That's a good answer.
I would have invested in something like Netflix. I was like, why didn't I? Like, it's such a good idea. And now I love so many Netflix shows. Maybe that's why I would go back in time.
I like that.
Yeah, exactly.
I had a question about a certain episode that you did, especially when you were looking at the molecular structure of the day, you were trying to come up with the formula and velocity. Who was the scientific consultant? Or who gave you the drug and you do all that on screen, you were looking at the structure, you basically handed the formula over to the trajectory.
Oh.
Yeah, do you guys have a science consultant on the Flash? I'm not sure
Google?
about that. Yeah.
No, the writers, I mean, we get our scripts and then, it's sort of our job to make sense of it.
Is
as
it
best we
tough
can.
to do all the tech jargon when you're...
Yeah, I mean, it's tough for me when I practice words wrong and then I can't get out of it. Like, season 1, I don't remember what I practiced, but I didn't practice carotid artery. I said carotid or 18 other things that were not carotid. So that stuck with me. I had one recently, chiro versus cryo.
Oh, yeah.
I practiced the wrong one.
That's tough.
It's embarrassing, really, is what it is.
The lightsaber.
Hey, hi, I love doing Sky High.
Thank you.
Oh yeah. So if you had a superpower in real life, what would you choose and why?
I get this question a lot, and I just have decided that I'm going to keep changing it up because, there are lots of superpowers. I wish, this is what I was thinking about, I wish I had the power to give people empathy. I feel like if people could understand other people, took a minute to try to appreciate someone else's perspective, maybe that would help us be kinder to each other.
What was it like changing from the sweet, nice kid in Snow to the status of them all Killer Frost?
It was awesome. It's funny, Andrew Kreisberg will talk about how giddy I got when it came time to be Killer Frost. I just am so excited, like dancing in my seat at the table read and that sort of thing. So it was really fun. It was such a treat. I feel lucky to get to work on a show where something like that is even a possibility.
Did you know from the get-go that Caitlin was going to end up being Killer Frost?
When I first heard about the show, obviously I started to do a little bit of research about Caitlin Snow and saw that she was Killer Frost, and that's all I wanted, so I kept harassing them about it. But yeah, there's never been a specific promise in terms of if it's going to happen, when it's going to happen, etc.
Well, we're glad. Very cool. Yeah, hi.
I'm just wondering, when you finished Sky High, did you ever think that you would ever get involved with another superhero show or movie?
I don't think I thought that another superhero show was in my future. I've said this before, but I think it's very true. 10 years ago, the technology was not as good as it is now, and without someone like Armin who does our special effects, I don't think it would be possible to make The Flash. So I feel lucky to sort of be working on television right now at such an exciting time.
Yeah, hi.
Oh boy. I think, it made me laugh season 1. I was like, really? You're picking the only person who cannot sing to be the first person singing on The Flash. This is a terrible idea. I don't know much about the musical crossover episodes. I think that's, I, by the way, still don't know anything about the big 4-way crossover that I think is happening imminently. So I don't know much about it. No, I asked Carlos if he would teach me to sing, and he went, ooh, that would take a while. Keenan, on the other hand, I was like, Keenan, can you teach me to dance? He was like, yeah, absolutely. So Keenan's my butt.
Would you like to show up on Supergirl eventually?
Yes, I would love to. Melissa is so kind. I love to work with Callista. Kyler is great. Like, yes, I keep talking about it in hopes that I'll like manifest it.
Soon. I hope. Lean into the back. Hi.
Yeah.
Okay. So you've been Shay, you've been Callie, you've been Layla, you've been Iz, you've been everything, but out of everything, especially with Caitlin now, who is your favorite character as an actor to play?
As an actor, I think being on The Flash has been awesome because it does give me the opportunity. It has given me the opportunity to be Caitlin as well as Killer Frost. That's awesome. Working on Empire Falls as Tick was a really incredible opportunity. I feel like I learned so much from all of the actors I was working with. Girls Against Boys was a fun opportunity too. You know, that sort of felt like a more grown-up role. Kids don't watch that one. Rated R for a reason.
Let's go over here. Yeah, way in the back. That's you. Yeah, hi.
Okay, hi, thank you.
Do you mind standing up just so I can hear you?
Hello,
Thanks.
nice to meet you.
You too.
I'm Ian. And
I'm
let me
Danielle.
ask you one question, which is that with the show of Lucifer on Fox,
Oh yeah.
and which I think is related to DC Comics,
I think so too.
do you think it is possible for the Flash to cross over with the show of Lucifer in one way or another?
I don't know about crossovers with Lucifer. I had the opportunity to meet Tom this summer, and he's great. I also, my other big like DC Babe Cooper pitch is iZombie. Like people on the show. So yeah, I pitched that one as well. Nobody really listens to me, but that would be another fun one.
Okay.
Great question. Thank you. Over here. Hi.
So I loved you in your movie Time.
Oh, thank you.
This kind of relates to like your Killer Frost versus Caitlin Snow, but did you have any problems channeling the emotions between the neurotic girlfriend and emotional murderer?
You know, that was such a fun one because it's such a spoiler alert, guys, by the way. You know, that one was cool because it does play with this concept of time, and it was, you know, sort of a fun idea to sort of see what she knows versus what she can show on her face in terms of her emotion. And, you know, that's the other crazy thing. It's like if she doesn't like the way that day went, she just goes back and does it again. So, you know, she can leave herself a different note.
If only.
I know.
Must be nice. I'll stay over here. Yeah, in the hat. Hi. Yeah.
Just curious, prior to joining The Flash, how much were you aware of the source material prior to? Were you a fan, or is it all fresh and new when you came on board?
It's all new to me, which is fun. Like, it's the best education I could ever get. You know, just to be so welcomed into the DC family, and also these conventions. Like, everyone has, you know, been so generous. I was at a convention a couple weeks ago and mentioned, who is the magician? The female magician, say Satana. Like I said, like that's someone I'd like to know more about. And a fan brought me comic books. Like it's so everyone's so generous and so open and willing to share, which is fantastic. I go to Carlos a lot when I have questions. Carlos, explain this to me.
Yeah, hi.
Oh, what's your opinion on Carla Ochoa as Superman?
Oh, I think it's awesome. He's
So
so
awesome.
sweet. I don't know when we met or how we know each other, but I saw him in San Diego, and I think it's great. I think it's great that they're bringing that to the show. I think he's going to do a fantastic job.
I can't wait to see that. I'm excited to see their interaction too.
Me too.
That's how excited we are. Like,
Yeah.
breaking stuff. Excited. It's gonna be awesome. Yeah, hi.
I'm pretty excited that Mirror Master is coming. He's a pretty big Flash villain. So I think that's going to be great. Yeah. I don't know. That's the first one that comes to mind.
I would love to see Zatanna on the
Yeah.
Flash. That would be super cool. Yeah.
I also feel like we need more women on this show.
Yeah.
Mr. Brooks was probably one of the first ones that made.
Oh, thanks.
And I know there was supposed to be a sequel to the Hanging Open, and it never happened. With Netflix remaking so many shows right now, they said, let's see what Mr. Brooks do. Is a two-part match for you? Or
No, not at all. Working with Kevin Costner was such a dream. He was, you know, he's such an incredible actor, but he also, I mean, is an Academy Award-winning director. So the way he thinks about shots and scenes and telling a story is fantastic. I would work with him again in a heartbeat on anything, Mr. Brooks or otherwise.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Step back to when you just said that you would love more women to come onto the Flash.
Mm-hmm.
I heard in the past you may have once roomed with Katie Lotz and with Katie Cassidy. So what's the sisterhood like amongst them on the show?
The best. I mean, Katie Lotz and I actually don't think have ever worked together, but I adore her, and I think she's such a great girl. And Katie Cassidy's, you know, she's been like a sister to me, particularly in Vancouver. It's a scary thing to move to a new city and to not know anyone, and, you know, particularly when it's another country and you're trying to figure it out. And she was incredibly generous and welcoming, and it's been great. I feel lucky to know both of those women.
At Katie Cassidy's panel just an hour ago, she was talking about being roommates with you too.
Aw.
It was pretty cute.
It was great.
Yeah.
She's been traveling so much. I haven't seen her again.
Yeah, hi.
I was wondering, how does acting help you grow as a person?
I actually think it might be a little bit more of the reverse. I think when you grow as a person, it informs your acting. I think the more like experiences, I've been traveling a lot, and I am really grateful for the opportunity to see different cultures and to see different people all over the world. And I think that, again, to go back to my empathy comment, like I think it broadens your horizons, and I hope that that helps my acting. I think it gives me more to draw on emotionally.
Where are some of your favorite places that you've been able to
Oh my
travel?
gosh, I had such a good summer. We went to some incredible places. We were in London, we were in Monte Carlo doing press, I was in Greece, I was in South America, I was in Peru and Chile this year. It's been great.
Is there any place you haven't been that you would like the
So
opportunity
many
to go?
places, oh my gosh. I can't wait to get to Spain. That's tops on my list for sure. I also want to go back to South America. When I was in Peru, that was my first time there. And like we went to Machu Picchu, which is such like a special place. So I'd love to go back to South America.
That's awesome.
I mean, the world's so big. So I wanna go back there.
The blues. Yeah, hi.
My friend has a question.
Okay, that's also fine.
Out of everyone in the cast on the Flash, who swears the most?
Swears the most? I don't know. Maybe me? When you see the blooper reel, it's sort of embarrassing. Who swears the most? I don't know. I feel like everybody does in a moment of frustration when you're like when you botch the line or something. Look, the good news is all of the actors on our show are incredibly professional and incredibly prepared, and everybody shows up to work ready to like do their job. And you know, when you're prepared, but you just can't quite make the words come out the way you want them to, it's frustrating. So I think everyone has cursed in a moment of frustration.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Who has not here? I mean, really. Yeah, R2D2. Hi.
How is it to act with Tom Felton, like a new member?
Tom is great. We actually haven't had any scenes together yet. But we're all very excited to have him on the show.
Yeah, what a great addition. Are you a Harry Potter fan as well?
Of course.
So did you kind of freak out?
Yeah. And I had just taken like my friends' kids to Harry Potter World, so it felt like fresh in my mind. It was cool.
That's super exciting. I'm also going to kind of geek out with you for a minute because I'm like a huge Supernatural fan, and I wanted to ask if it was like working with Jared Padalecki on Friday the 13th.
Awesome. That movie, we shot that in Austin, Texas, and there were a dozen of us under the age of 30, and we just ran around and had a great time. It was really fun. I'm still quite close with most of that cast, actually.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
That's always nice to hear.
It is. They're great people.
Hi. Yeah.
Yes.
Like, what was like working with him, and is he coming back as
Again, I don't know that I actually had any scenes with Mark, but it was great to have. We do table reads. We do table reads before every episode, and I remember how excited everyone was when he came up for the table read. And he and John go way back. John was the ship. So it was. I mean, I couldn't believe it when they said that he was going to be on the show. And I don't know if they're bringing him back. I would love for him to come back, but obviously that doesn't get you very far. Yeah, hi.
Yeah. Is there any embarrassing moment you can share us when you were in any kind of convention?
Embarrassing moments at conventions, I'm sure. Well, I saw Christopher Lloyd here yesterday, and I was like, I don't know if you remember me from Piranha 3 Double D. I hope you don't, but it's great to see you. Amazing. Yeah, I think that's as bad as it gets that I can make up for now. I'll come back to you if I recall. Yeah, back here. Yeah.
The lacrosse costume was great.
Thank you.
But is there anything about it that you would change?
Is there anything about it that I would change? I don't know. It can be a difficult costume to wear because of well, for starters, the contacts. The contacts make it really hard to see. My vision is terrible, so the contacts aren't quite up to my vision. So it kind of gives me a headache to wear them. And then, the wig and the jacket, I feel like it gives me very bad posture. So like by the end of the night, I'm hunched over but I love it. It's still so exciting to get to be her.
These are the perils of
I
being a
know,
superpower,
yeah, I'll tell
right?
you, yeah.
It can be tough.
The guy in the black hat right behind her has had his hand up a couple of times.
Definitely.
Yes, that's you.
Hey, great. We all geek out over you when you're on the red carpet. Who do you geek out over?
Oh, who do I geek out over? I was at dinner with Victor, and Anderson Cooper came over to say hi, and I couldn't speak. That was pretty cool.
He's so inhumanly handsome.
And he's so smart and poised, and yeah.
Are you a fan of anything right now, or are you
Fan of anything right now? What am I watching right now? I'm finishing up. I watch a lot of shows on planes and stuff because I fly at least every week. And I'm watching 6 Feet Under, which I've never seen before, which is an incredible show. I'm also watching Unreal, which is fantastic. And the women on that show are unbelievable. Constance Zimmer and Shiri Appleby are so talented.
That's a great show. Yeah. Fuck, yeah.
Who do you think would win in a fight, the Flash or the Arrow?
Flash, duh. For
That's
sure.
what we all know.
She frees them instantly.
With the blonde hair in the back.
Hi, I'm wondering, since you and Iris are sort of the main female leads on the show, if your friendship is going to grow, your relationship is going to grow during season 3?
I hope so. Season 1, she wasn't really around Star Labs that much, and then season 2 is she got to be in Star Labs more, and Caitlin got kidnapped for a while. So, hopefully there's more of that in the future. Yeah. The crossovers are great. They are tough. They are very difficult to schedule because we have our normal job of working 14 or 16 hours a day on the Flash, and then you have to add on top of that doing twice as much work by going over to Arrow. So the crossovers are tough logistically, but it's fun. Some of my favorite scenes tend to be when large groups of us are all together, like at the end of season 2 when everybody is together to see the big race versus Zoom. That's always really fun to me when you get to see the whole group together. And the crossovers are a big example of that.
With the DCU, are you guys all buds? Do you all hang out?
We're always so thrilled to see each other, but because of our schedules, it doesn't necessarily afford us the opportunity to. It's not like, oh, I'm going to be off work at 7 o'clock and we can get dinner after. I think I work till 3 on Thursday. Nobody wants to go for dinner at 3 a.m. So it's tough, but know, at birthday celebrations and things like that, we do really come together, which is nice.
So it must be nice to see them at cons and stuff too.
Totally, yes.
It's weird that you have to leave Vancouver
I
today.
know.
Definitely. There's another one over here. Hi.
One of my favorite scenes was watching you playing Caitlin, playing Killer.
Oh, thank you.
And what was it like for you to trying to differentiate that role from the other two roles?
That was fun. That one got to be a little bit more lighthearted. And again, you know, working with Carlos is one of my favorite things. So, you know, we got to have fun with it. You know, Killer Frost is pretty serious. She takes herself pretty seriously. And Caitlin, as Killer Frost, is a little bit more confused, trying to figure it all out. So that was a lot of fun. And to get to work with Katie, that was an awesome scene.
Stu, Harley, over here. Hi.
How was it to work with Grant Gustin?
Oh, the best. I adore him. We have a lot of fun together. He laughs at me. If I have a dog, I go back and forth between Vancouver and LA basically every week. And if I don't have my dog with me, I'm like, can I go say hi to your dogs? He's like, Bella's in LA, isn't she? I'm like, yeah. He's very tolerant.
What kind of dog is that?
I have a little Maltese, and then he has two, all little white dogs. Nora's like Maltese poodle maybe, and then Jet's like a Bichon.
That's adorable.
They're the best.
I love that.
I'm trying to convince Carlos to get a dog.
Another white dog. Yeah?
On season 3, has security got better at Star Labs? Because it seems
No. Security at Star Labs is a joke. We joke that there's a security guard named Gunther, and Gunther gets fired on a regular basis. No. There's I'm trying to think. There is some funny jokes about that in early episodes. We're shooting episode 6 right now, so keep your eyes out.
No one else is nuts enough to apply to work at Star Labs to keep hiring the same guy. So bad. That's a bad time. Yeah, in the gray t-shirt back here. Yeah. Hi. Yeah.
Oh. Hi. Thanks for coming to Toronto.
Of course.
I have a question. I was wondering how much ad-libbing and kind of free-form gets through to the final episodes in the show, and how does that compare to other seasons, other series you've worked on?
He asked about ad-libbing. You know, for us, it's about sort of, we're given the scripts and you want to be as close to them as possible, but sometimes you have to massage it a little bit to make it make sense and sound good in the context. Carlos is pretty fantastic at the ad-libs, and they started, I noticed it really in season 2, that they started to let more of his stuff stick around. But it's funny, sometimes the stuff that's funny on the day is not actually funny in a cut. You know, even if it's funny in a scene, in the context of the hour-long show we're doing, it's not always funny. But it's, you know, you give them, like, that's what it is on TV, you give them options. They can cut together whatever they want.
Thank you.
On the end here. Hi. Yeah.
Because of going back to like it being kidnapped and everything, is Caitlin just gonna give up on the guys this season?
I think so. I made a joke. I was like, she should go for Katie Lox's character. Yes, I would like to see her take a break from the boys. That hasn't really worked out for her in the past. I would like to see Ronnie come back.
Oh,
He's the best.
She would do well on her own.
Totally.
She needs to get some hobbies and, you
Yes.
know. Yeah.
Yes, I think she is a independent woman and she'll be just fine.
Agreed. Yeah, over here. Hi.
Hi, how you doing? Your brain bones.
Oh, thanks.
Who do you think is more annoying in person, Brett or Carlos?
Annoying in person?
Yeah.
Neither one.
Really? They're good guys?
Oh yeah, the best.
I feel
Yeah.
like Carlos might be a little annoying, but
No, Carlos is actually very sensitive and thoughtful and like so much deeper than I think you would imagine when you first meet him.
You're like Grant Gustin though. He's the worst.
Grant is also fantastic as well.
That's good. It's nice when everybody on the cast gets along.
It is. We're very lucky, for sure.
That's great. Hi.
Ooh, I don't know. I tell you, my least favorite line is, "We gotta find that guy, and fast." Someone says it basically every episode.
Actually, someone's like, we gotta find that guy, but like, you wanna get dinner
Yeah,
first?
sure.
Or like, yeah, we got time.
Yeah.
It's no big deal. Thought I did that anyway. On the end, way in the back. Hi.
Well, if you were not an actor, what do you think your job would be?
She kind of asked this earlier. I don't know. I feel like I love kids, so maybe working with kids in some capacity.
Yeah. Can you tell us a little bit more about the nonprofit that you?
Oh, Art of Elysium. They're incredible. They they go into hospitals and work with kids and use art as a way to help them cope with whatever they're going through. You know, you see these families and these kids who spend their lives in hospitals because they have chronic illnesses and, you know, anything to lift their spirits, brighten their moods. It's fantastic.
Yeah, that's incredible.
It's great. I work with UNICEF Next Gen a lot too. I'm all about kids.
Yeah, in the black. That was wow. That happened. In the black. Yeah. Glasses. Yeah.
Oh, well, obviously DC movies recently have struggled a bit, but the TV shows seem to be doing so well. Do you have any insight on what you think might be the difference? Because they have some similar characters, like, and even they're bringing the Flash into the new Justice League movie. So,
I don't know that I have any insight. I can just say that I love working on our show. I love watching our show. I think there's a fun lightness and brevity to it while still sort of, you know, this fantastical element of being a superhero.
I love the shared universe of the television shows too. I think that's such a unique thing that the DC shows have. Such a talented group of actors to be able to do these crossovers, even if they're difficult.
Yeah.
It's really interesting.
Totally.
Yeah, let's hit Star Lab sweatshirt. Yeah.
Oh, hi. I have two quick questions. Well, first of all, I just wanted to say that I love your work on The Flash.
Thank you.
Number one, I'm just wondering, how much influence do you have on the script writing or just developing Caitlin as a character?
Not a ton of influence on the script writing. All of our writers are in LA. The writers' room is in LA, and you know they send us the scripts. We get them maybe a week before we start shooting, sometimes less. So you know, if there's something that doesn't work for me, I can always call and see if you make it work.
And sorry, I just have one more question. Where can I apply to be security for Star Labs?
Right.
It's real dangerous, buddy. I don't know.
Cisco's so good at all that technology, but he can't like lock people out. Come on.
It's one button. You would think. Yeah.
So I was just wondering, because like, I feel like there's a lot of scenes in like TVs and movies where it's really hard for us to watch. Was there ever a really hard scene where you've either read it and like who would ever do that or working to do?
If it's a scene as an actor that I'm scared about, that's a great thing because I think those are rare and I think it's great. I appreciate the challenge. Logistically, yes, I mean, you know, our line producer, like, I think he has a heart attack every time he reads the script. He's like, there's no way you could do this. We have 8-9 days to shoot very big episodes. I mean, who would have thought we could have done an entire King Shark episode? Kind of crazy. So yes, logistically, every episode has elements of it that I think are a little challenging, but we have an incredible crew and they, you know, they make it work.
That's great.
Mm-hmm.
Kaylee.
Hi. I was wondering if in season 3 we'll see the return of drunk Caitlin.
Oh, I would love to see the return of drunk Caitlin. I like seeing Caitlin outside the labs, you know. So hopefully we'll start to see more of that. Thanks. It was fun.
Yeah. Hi.
I did actually. The summer before we even started shooting season 2, Andrew Kreisberg was telling me about it. Excuse me. So I almost wish he hadn't, because, you know, I knew what was coming, but it was fun, you know. It was a great relationship. Teddy's fantastic. It was cool.
Awesome. Let's go back over here. Yeah. Yeah, go watch.
Yes, a Gorilla Grodd is played sometimes by a tennis ball and sometimes by a man in stilts. The actor who they have who does everything in stilts is fantastic. You know, he really tries to get into the mentality of a giant gorilla. So that was cool. I would love to see more Gorilla Grodd.
Acting. Yeah, glasses. And then over here, yeah. Yeah.
My favorite episodes from season 2, I think, are probably the Earth 2 episodes. It was awesome. Everyone's so talented and did such a great job in pulling off their doppelgangers. That was one of my favorites for sure.
Those are so fun to watch too from an audience perspective. Those are great. Yeah.
How did you feel when you found out they were bringing Ronnie back and then just
Upset. Robbie and I joke about it again. You know, gotta bring him back, just kill him off again. Gotta find a new way to kill him. I love Robbie. I wish we could have him on the show all the time. He's the best.
Spider-Man.
I'm sure you don't get a lot of free time, but do you have any hobbies or activities you like to do when you have time off?
Hobbies or activities? I don't know. I'm obsessed with my dog. What are my other hobbies? I don't know. I am a bit of a TV fanatic. I try to watch as much TV as we can. I don't know. I try and, on my off time, I do try and see my friends. It's challenging to maintain relationships long distance, but I try and go back to LA if you're
Are you wedding planning right now too?
A little bit, yeah. It's intimidating.
Seems terrifying. How's that going?
Good, I think. I kind of got overwhelmed and took a break, so maybe I should go back to that.
Anyway, let's not talk about it. It's totally fine. Let's go to cell phone. Yeah, hey.
Hi. When you're playing Caitlin, does any of your other roles come into play with Caitlin, like some personalities?
I don't know, not consciously. I'm sure other experiences have informed my acting, but I don't know if specifically I've said, oh, this is something that Layla would do, you know?
Do you see any of yourself in Caitlin?
I think so. Yeah. I don't know. It's like so hard to be, like, to sort of step outside of yourself and say, these are my qualities. And I don't know. I think so. Hopefully we're both smart, determined, passionate women.
Agreed. Agreed?
Yeah.
Have you created a sort of backstory for Caitlin's family life before Starla happened and everything?
Yes, yeah. To be honest, I didn't know until halfway through season 2 that her dad was dead. So that was something that I wish they told me a little bit earlier on. But they do, you know, they did sort of fill in the fact that her dad had died from multiple sclerosis, which I do think informs why she became a doctor and, you know, sort of set out to change the world in that sense. But particularly now that we've met, well, you guys haven't seen it yet, but now that we've met Caitlin's mom, it's starting to fill in some of the blanks for sure.
We have time for a couple more questions. Yeah, in the hat. Hi.
What about her brother?
What about her brother?
Are we going to see him? Are we going to talk about him?
Who's Charlie?
Yeah.
I would love to dig into that a little bit deeper too.
Fingers crossed. Firefly. Hi.
You mentioned earlier that you're a Harry Potter fan. Which house do you think that Caitlin would be in?
Oh, I don't think she would be in Slytherin. I don't know if she'd be Hufflepuff, Gryffindor, what's the fourth one? Ravenclaw. I don't know. I mean, obviously I want to say Gryffindor, but maybe Hufflepuff? I don't know. What do you think? Gryffindor?
She's a smart cookie.
Thanks. I can't tell if I'm biased. I'm like, obviously she should be.
She's pretty brave. I mean, it's true. Okay, let's do 2 more. 1, 2, there, over here. Yeah, hi.
I think that was something that was a big difference between season 1 and season 2 is we stopped locking people in the pipeline as much. And at the end of season 1, they all basically escaped, or we let them out. And then in season 2, I mean, we put Black Siren in there, but I don't really think we put that many others. We started sending them to Iron Heights, which seems more appropriate.
A little safer. So yeah. Wait in the back. You got your hand up. Yeah, hi.
What villain? I don't know. I hope Trickster comes back.
I'm excited for that too.
I know, they're so ambitious with all the villains that they bring. Great.
That's cool. I hope we see Killer Frost back.
I know, me too.
Caitlin, thank you. Oh. Danielle, that totally just happened. Oh my god, it's so
I
hard.
take this as a compliment.
Killer Frost. Anyways, thank you so much for being here today. Seriously, this is so cool.